Om Sai Ram and welcome to the seventh episode of Sri Ramvijay Granth lecture series. In the previous episode, we saw that how Rishi Agasti, who was a very powerful Muni, how he killed Atapi, Vatapi and Alva. And now, today, in this episode, we proceed with chapter 19, 20 and 21 respectively. So let us see what are the events that took place in these three chapters. We dedicate this presentation to Sri Sachidananda Sadguru Sainath Maharaj, and with his inspiration and blessings, let us begin with the Adhyay 19 of Sri Ram Vijay Granth. In this Adhyay, let us just peek into the things that happened. Lord Ram stayed with Agasti for a month, and during his stay there, he presented him with an arrow to kill Ravana. So here comes the main weapon, which was gifted by whom? Rishi Agasti. As everything was predestined, everything was pre-planned rather. So Rishi Agasti he gifted Lord Ram with the weapon or the arrow, which would be useful in the near future for killing Ravana. So from the Dandakaranya, Ram set out for Panchavati. On the road, he saw a huge bird called Jatayu, who asked Ram about his introduction, like who you are. I belong to the solar race, replied Ram. Solar race means the Surya Vansh, in which Lord Ram belonged. And I am son of the king Dashrath. I am called Ram. So, on hearing the introduction given by Lord Ram, Jatayu also introduced himself. I am son of Kasha, said Jatayu. And the name of my uncle is Suparna, and I am called Jatayu. Your father was my great friend. I helped him during the battle which he had fought along with Shukra, and therefore he called me his brother. So, if you look at one way, I'm the brother of your father because your father is a very dear friend of mine. This is how Jatayu introduced himself to Lord Ram. Having embraced Jatayu, Ram proceeded on his journey and reached Panchavati, where he lived with Sita in a Parnakutika built by Lakshman. Lakshman gathered fruits and kamandalus for Sita and Ram, which they ate and passed their days there. So they happily lived by consuming fruits and water, the fresh water of the forest over there. And this is how they spent their days of their vanvas. So Lakshman gathered fruits, and this is how they spent. He guarded the hut every night. So Ram and Sita Mata, they used to sleep inside the hut, and Lord Lakshman he used to guard the Paranakutika, being a dangerous forest. He used to serve Lord Ram and Mata Sita by guarding them from outside. So this is how everything was going on very well. One day, Lakshman went near a thicket to collect fruits and kandamuls. So these kandamuls are roots, a sort of roots which are consumable. So where he saw a deadly sword descending from above. So all of a sudden he was just gathering fruits and cutting the kandamuls, and all of a sudden a deadly, very sharp weapon, a deadly sword, came and fell in front of Lakshman. So it came from above. The weapon fell where he was standing, and it having looked sharp and powerful, he tried it on the thicket. So Lakshman just lifted it up and saw that, oh, it's a powerful weapon. It looks very sharp. So let me just try by cutting some bushes through this sword, like how sharp it is. So Lakshmanji, he tried it. But to his great astonishment, the thicket was cut into two parts. It was so thick. It was a very thick bush. As soon as Lakshmanji just used the weapon, the sword, the thicket was just cut into two distinct parts. It was so powerful. And there flowed a large quantity of blood. All of a sudden, he saw blood coming from the thicket. So Lakshman was afraid that he killed some ascetic maybe while meditating in the thicket. And in order to satisfy himself about what he immediately did, he went to Lord Ram with the khadak. Khadak means the sword which he had received over there, and informed him of what had happened in detail. He said everything, that I used this to just check whether how sharp it was. Now I feel that I might have killed some ascetic who might have been meditating over there. So I'm feeling guilty. Please guide me, O Prabhu. What have I done? So Ramji said, brother, you don't be afraid. The blood which flows through the thicket is of a demon called Sharbari. So this Sharbari, this demon, is the son of Surpanakha, a sister of Ravana. He was meditating in the thicket unobserved with a view to get weapon from Shiva. So you have done a good job. You have killed an Asura who was meditating upon Lord Shiva to get a weapon from him. You have saved the earth from a bit of destruction. You have done a good job. So God had sent a weapon for him. And accordingly, so Ramji is still narrating that God had sent a weapon for him, Lord Shiva. If the weapon had gone to the hands of the demon, he would have annihilated the whole universe with it. This same sword which you are holding right now is none other than the sword of Lord Shiva, provided by Lord Shiva to that particular demon who was meditating upon him. So rather than going on his hands, you have done a good job, you have better killed him. So thank God you have got it. And I tell you to take particular care of it. So you keep it with yourself. So Lakshman was glad at this information and cheerfully attended his duties now. So on the day Sharbari was killed by Lakshman, Surpanakha found in her dream that some calamity had befallen her son. So she came to know that some calamity might have befallen over my son. So having been awakened, she, accompanied by four demonesses, immediately started for the forest to look for her son. She wandered in the forest and at last came to the thicket. And seeing the blood there, she searched the whole wood and at last found her son, who was cut into two pieces. As soon as she saw her son, she fainted and cried violently for him. The other four demonesses condoled her, and immediately after that, they burnt the body of Sharbari. Like they performed the final rites of the demon and went in search of the enemy who had killed the demon. So, with this note ends the Adhyay 19 or chapter 19 of Ramvijay Granth. So, now they started tracing that who might have killed my son. So, they traced Lakshman from his footprints, and in order to revenge the killing of her son, Surpanakha formed herself into a beautiful damsel, and taking with her the four demonesses who had also formed themselves into very good maidservants, she went towards Lakshman. So all of them uh, made a disguise of beautiful women and the four Sakhis of Surpanakha, and they marched towards Lakshman, their enemy who had killed Surpanakha's son. Now they went to Lakshman, and Surpanakha said, I have traveled all over the earth in search of a husband, but I have not found a young man as beautiful as yourself. I have become mad after you, and unless you consent to marry me, I shall not live. Therefore, I implore you to take me for your wife. Don't you see how I look? So she was now like enchanting, trying to enchant Lord Lakshman. That see how beautiful I am. I have been searching for a husband who deserves me. I have searched the entire earth, and still I have not found anyone. I find you attractive, so I want to marry you. And if you don't marry me, if you just decline my proposal, I shall not live. I will give up my life for you. So this is how the demoness tried captivating Lord Lakshman. Can you get elsewhere a quite young girl like me? She is still provoking him. Lakshman was not at all captivated with her charms, but she having much insisted upon his giving her an answer, so she kept on just knocking Lakshman that please, I need an answer from you. Just tell me yes or no. You want to marry me or not? He replied, I have got my brother and sister in law. They live there in a hut. I cannot do anything without their consent. Okay, I shall go to your brother, said Surpanakha, and get a letter from him consenting to our match. Okay, I'm rushing to your brother immediately, and if he says yes, then you will marry, right? So Lakshman said, yes, I don't do anything without their consent. And Surpanakha, she just rushed to the spot towards the Parnakutika. So she went to Ram. She went to Panchavati, and with her maid servants already accompanying her. And she said to Ram, I like your brother from the bottom of my heart. I have made up my mind to marry him, and he has also promised me to take me for his wife. But we need your approval for the match. I therefore pray that you will kindly pity me and give me your letter or any other sign signifying your consent to our marriage. Now Mata Sita was moved with her manner of address and requested Ram to comply with her request. Now Lord Ram, of course Ma Lakshmi, Ma Sita also knew who she was, but as they had descended on this earth to play this drama. So Lord Ram, what he did was, he surveyed her from head to foot. He was just looking at her and finding her eyeballs upside down, means there is some symptom associated with the demons. So Lord Ram identified her somehow. He knew that she was Surpanakha in the form of a human being. Ram therefore said, I have no objection to give you my consent, but I shall write it on your back. How can you do it? So Shurpanakha was questioning Lord Ram that I feel bashful to show you my back. And it does not matter, continued Ram. See, there is no one here, so there is no harm in writing at your back. So at last Surpanakha told Ram to write his consent on her back. So Ramji wrote and sent her away. So now she was having a message from Lord Ram. So there must be no reason for any other hesitation for Lord Lakshman to marry her. So the demoness hastened to the place where Lakshman was standing and said, you see, your brother has consented to our marriage with much pleasure. If you like, you may go and ask him about it. I'm not a liar, you know. He has given me no letter or no sign, but he simply told you to marry me. So Surpanakha, she is still not showing her back. She said that, see, your brother has answered in the affirmative. He wants us to marry. That will not do, replied Lakshman. I must have a letter or sign from my brother signifying his consent to our marriage. Surpanakha, having known his mind, showed the letter written by Ram on her back. So now Lakshman started reading the letter. So we also don't know what Ramji wrote. Let us see what he wrote. The letter stated that as soon as Lakshman read it, he should at once cut off the ears of the demoness. So the nose and both the ears of the demoness must be cut off. Lakshman read the letter and having seized her by her hair, so Lakshman caught her hair and flung her down and cut off her nose and ears as directed by Ram. And when her nose and ears were thus cut off, she and her maidservants assumed their original forms and fled for fear of losing their lives. Screaming hideously, they marched towards their abode, wherever they went. Now comes the 21st chapter, or Adhyay 21 of the Granth. So, listening to the yells, the hideous cries of Surpanakha, Tirushira, Khar, and Dushan came to help her with 14,000 demons. So, now she said to them, "Look at my nose and ears. There live three human beings, two males and one female. The man who called himself Lakshman has disfigured me at the instigation of his brother and sister-in-law. So his brother and sister-in-law must have provoked him. So he has made this condition. You must now go there and cut off their heads and guts, so that I may drink their blood and refresh myself with it." So she instructed the three demons, Tirushira, Khar, and Dushan, that you go there and kill them, behead them. So the three of them thought it below their dignity to go and fight with those human beings. So they thought it that we are demons, we have some dignity. We can't go and fight with human beings. They are ordinary mortals. So they selected 14 powerful demons and sent them to Panchavati. So they selected 14 powerful lower order demons. They were of a bit higher class with Surpanakha. So Surpanakha also guided them, otherwise, who would have identified the three of them? So now they reached the place, but Ram cut off their heads with one arrow. So Lord Ram just shot one arrow and all of their heads were cut. Surpanakha fled in alarm and informed Tirushira, Khar and Dushan what had happened. Whereupon they marched against Ram with an army of demons. But they were also killed by the prince with his arrow in a moment. So this entire scene took place. We can still visit Nashik and see these places where these incidents took place. In Nashik, we have the Sita Gufa, where Lord Ram had hidden Mata Sita while fighting with these demons. So this incident reminded me of my visit to Sita Gufa. And if all the devotees who are listening to this, they can also visit Nashik. The name of that place, Nashik, became with reference to the word Nashika, which means the nose. Lord Lakshman played the pastime of cutting the nose of Surpanakha in that place, and the cut nose fell over there. Hence, the place became Nashik. In Nashik, we can see the Panchavati still there, the five banyan trees, and the Parnakutika, where Lord Ram, Lakshman, and Sita ji they resided. Even the place of Sita Haran, from where Ravana kidnapped Sita, is also there. So, while fighting the army of 14,000 demons, Lord Ram hid Mata Sita in the Sita Gufa, which is still existing, and the devotees can go and take the darshan of the particular Gufa at Nashik. So after the death of the three demons, Tirushirakhar and Dushan, so Ravana was greatly alarmed at the sad news. So Surpanakha, as we see in normal Ramayana, she directly did not go to Ravan. She first sent an army of 14,000 demons, rather more than 14,000, because Ramji killed 14 demons before also. So after that, post this incident, Surpanakha went and complained to Ravana. So we can see many unknown things in this Ramvijay Granth. So Ravana was greatly alarmed at the sad news, and having called upon his uncle Maricha, said to him, "You see, Ram has killed Tirushira, Khar, and Dushan, and disfigured Surpanakha. If this enemy is allowed to go unnoticed, he will even kill me one day or other. So one day or the other, I will also die then. I have therefore made up my mind to carry off Sita, his wife, to Lanka and kill Ram and Lakshman. Please, therefore, be a beautiful Hiran." Hiran means a deer. So Ravana was greatly alarmed and enraged, and he instructed Marich to become a deer and frolic at the Parnakutika of Ram. And when he comes with his Dhanushvan off to kill you, run to the heart of the forest. So you run to the heart of the forest at that time. Ram will pursue you, and as soon as he is separated from Sita, I shall carry her off to Lanka. This is my plan. So I want you to do this. So Ravana now disclosed his entire plan to Marich. So Marich was his maternal uncle, and he said that if I keep this enemy alive for any longer, he will kill me also one day. So I think I should carry off her wife Sita to Lanka, and for doing this I need your help. And he disclosed his plan. So now Marich, hearing this, he said, "It is sinful to covet one's wife," replied Marich, "and if you carry her off, you will lose your life and everything. I therefore advise you to change your mind and attend to your affairs." At this advice, Ravana got enraged and said, "It is a bad thing to advise me that way. It is your duty to help me on such occasions. I therefore command you to come with me and do what I tell you to do." So now Ravana was enraged that he is advising me. So he said that I don't need your advice. You must stay and support me during this situation of danger. So I don't want to listen any word from you. You are coming with me and you are helping me in this task. Come on. So whereupon Marich now accompanied Ravana to Panchavati with the greatest reluctance. So this was their journey towards devastation rather. So they didn't have any idea even that what was going to befall upon them. But still, they planned to kidnap or take away Mata Sita from the Parnakutika. So this comes to an end of chapter 21 of the Ramvijay Granth. Let us see in the next episode what will happen. Of course, we know the scenes of Ramayana, but as you can see, since the first episode, we are learning so many new things in this Ramvijay lecture series. Many unknown things of Ramayana. For example, in this episode, we learned about the son of Surpanakha who was killed and why Surpanakha came there ultimately. So there are many background stories which link the entire Ramayana. And it is the Ramvijay Granth. By the blessings of Baba, by his kind mercy, we are able to read it and we are able to explain it to the devotees. And I also invoke the blessings of the devotees so that I can continue doing this seva of reading and making videos of many other granths like this and bring it in front of you so that you all are able to relish the pastimes of the Lord. So, with this note, let me end for the day and let us see what will be the following incidents. Yes, of course, there is a picture in the screen showing the future event how Maricha, he took the form of a beautiful Hiran or a deer, a golden deer rather, and he appeared in front of Mata Sita. And Mata Sita, who was Mahalakshmi, knew it all, but she had to play the drama. And she became enchanted. She pretended to become enchanted by the looks of the Hiran. And today in this episode, we have also seen that Lord Lakshman used to play the role of a bodyguard of Lord Ram and Sita. He used to guard the Parnakutika from outside. There is a beautiful pastime associated to this as well. Since we have 5 more minutes left, I can share it with you all. There is a pastime associated to Mata Lakshmi and Lord Vishnu. Once what happened is, Lord Vishnu, as usual, was lying on his Adishesha. And Mata Lakshmi, as we have all seen her, she is a dedicated wife. She was serving at the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu. She was pressing his feet. And all of a sudden, Ma Lakshmi said that I'm bored. I'm not loving it anymore. This monotonous life. I'm bored with it. So Lord Vishnu, he was baffled that Lakshmi is my greatest devotee and she is serving my feet which satisfy the hearts of the Tribhuvan, the three lokas, of all the planetary systems. The rishis, the munis, the gods, the demons, everyone is satisfied by worshipping my lotus feet. And Lakshmi is saying that she is feeling monotonous. Why? So, on asking Mata Lakshmi, she said that no, I do not like this monotonous life. Means it is not that I am not satisfied by serving at your feet. It's of course I am the luckiest woman, but I don't have privacy. I want to serve you alone. I want to do Ekanta Seva. But see, this 1,000-headed Shesha with unlimited heads, he is always looking at us. So Lord Vishnu, he gave a laugh and he said that when I will descend on earth, when I will incarnate on the earth as Lord Ram, at that time this Shesha will become Lakshman. And so at that time, when he will guard our Parnakutika from outside, we can have some, you can serve me alone. At that time, you can do Ekanta Seva. In the case of Devatas, we always must keep one thing in mind. The Srimati Radharani or Devi Lakshmi or Mata Sita, they were all devotees of Lord Ram. It was not any lusty desire that had encroached her mind. It was just the mode of service she wanted to render. So, this is the greatness of Ramayana. Everything was pre-planned, but still to set an example for human beings, they incarnated in in flesh and blood, this body of flesh and blood, and they showed us so many pastimes. I'm sure, if time permits, in the next few episodes also, I'll be able to share with you such pastimes, which are not in this Granth, of course, but I have come to know about these pastimes from my superiors, from my seniors, my gurus, my mentors, the spiritual mentors. So I hope I will be able to enrich my episodes with these pastimes as well, which are again a link between these things. So since time permitted me, I shared this short story with you all. And I pray to Lord Ram to bless all the devotees, all the listeners, the people who are watching this video, to bless all of you, your families, so that all of us again come together and we worship Lord Ram, Lord Sainath Maharaj, as we did it earlier, all together in one place, physically present in the holy Shirdi Dham, having Baba's beautiful darshan, brother. So, with this note of positivity and the beautiful pastimes which we relished for the last 30 minutes, let us now end this video. I have been displaying this slide for so long. Thanks for watching. Of course, Om Sai Ram.